Coming up next on Trojan News, Greenville gets spooked.
And 2 junior high runners medal at the Mercer County Cross Country Invitational. These stories and more coming up next on Trojan News.
And now, from Studio 100 at Greenville High School, this is Trojan News.
Hello and welcome to Trojan News for October 27th. I'm Leah Betts.
And I'm Torrance Lanford.
It was almost exactly 1 month ago that Greenville caught a fever. Symptoms included a fearful feeling, paranoia, and a sense of pride for our small town. The cure for the sickness was to attend the local premiere of Greenville native Tony Ream's film, Spooked, held at the Reynolds Drive-In on September 23rd. A capacity crowd of an estimated 450 cars and 1,000+ people filled the drive-in to watch this highly anticipated film and celebrate Greenville and one of our own.
But growing up, there was always cool things that you would do around town, but we didn't have the internet, so you had to sort of figure out, and it was always these stories of like, do you know about the lady with the lantern? No, what's that? So we'd go find out these things, it was like, that house is haunted, there's a witch that lives in that house, all urban legend, all lore. The locations in Greenville were all because of my mom.
He told me the kinds of places that he wanted to find, and I knew where they were. And so I've lived here my entire life and have a lot of people that I know and, connections and that kind of thing. And so I just went and asked, could we use your facility to film this movie? People were gracious and allowed that to happen. So that's how the locations came to play.
And everyone, that's one thing I will say about Greenville. Say what you will, the community embraced us, they opened up to us, and it was like, we're going to just tell a fun story that's just about our childhood and about growing up in a small town and what that means and all the haunted things that you would do as kids. It's basically a movie for kids that grew up and were like, hey, let's go find some haunted houses. Let's find some creepy stuff.
Right. Local children will be in and out for trick-or-treating over the weekend in an attempt to collect as much candy as possible. If you are a trick-or-treater in your house, be sure that all adults inspect all candy and discarded pieces with punctured wrappers, odd-looking treats, discoloration, and anything that might look tampered with. Never eat homemade treats from people you don't know. Only accept factory-sealed candy.
What's the scariest movie of all time? The answer might be subjective. However, entertainment company Broadband Choices recently used science to find the answer. In the company's annual Science of Scare study, researchers curated a list of the most terrifying movies and showed them to 250 participants in customized screaming rooms to find out which horror flicks pushed them to the edge. This year, the 2020 film Host was dubbed the scariest film. Researchers monitored viewers' heart rates while watching popular scary movies. Each of the films chosen for the study was picked based on critics' reviews and horror experts. From there, researchers compared spikes in viewers' heart rates to the average resting heart rate of the total sample size, which has been 64 BPM each year.
So while those might be the 10 scientifically scariest movies, they aren't necessarily the most popular. We asked GHS what their favorite scary movies are. Here's what they said.
Also, 1,000 Corpses.
What's your favorite Halloween movie?
It.
What's your favorite Halloween movie?
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
All right. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
Trick or Treat.
So what's your favorite horror film?
Mine has to be the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Understandable. I gotta go with The Babysitter. It's a good dark comedy.
Solid choice.
There are very few students as unique and well-liked as this year's Homecoming King. After all, how many 17-year-olds have their own merch and can sell more than 100 dozen donuts with a simple social media post? Torrance spoke to Seth Hinson to get the story behind his legend in this week's Spotlight.
Hi there, I'm here today with Trojan News interviewing Seth Hinson. How are you doing today, Seth?
I'm doing great, as always.
All right, what's your opinion about becoming Homecoming King this year?
I'm very appreciative, it's a great thing to have being Homecoming King, and I'm going to shoot for Prom King. I'm going to go for both kings. Double king is where it's at.
All right, a lot of people are wondering, how do you keep your hair so lusciously blonde and long?
So basically I haven't cut it in 3 years, and all I use is Old Spice shampoo and sometimes conditioner.
Quite interesting. How do you sell so much merch, and what's it like having your own brand?
It's very hectic, because I haven't gone far enough to sell the merch, but I do have prom shirts on the way.
Amazing. What's it like selling so many donuts out of our whole senior class?
Oh, it feels great when I sell the most donuts. Last year I sold 76. I upped myself by 10. I sold 86 dozen this year.
Jack Skellington, creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Pennywise. There's no shortage of spooky characters from literature and film. Scribe Brocklehurst and Aiden Savage asked GHS who their favorite Halloween characters are. Here are their answers.
Hello, what is your favorite Halloween character?
My favorite Halloween character is the pumpkin because you can make pies out of them and they're spooky.
The Headless Horseman.
It. Ghostface. My favorite Halloween character is Pip from the Halloween Tree.
Great. The Leprechaun from the Leprechaun.
I like Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Tensions continue to rise as conflicts rage across the world. Sean Burchill has more in this week's World Watch.
One group known as Hamas is an Islamist militant movement in one of the Palestinian territories' two major political parties. The group is well known for its armed resistance in Israel. In October 2023, Hamas launched a massive surprise attack on Israel, killing hundreds of civilians and soldiers. Israel has declared war on Hamas and plans to defeat it. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will keep military pressure on Russia. Kiev has ramped up strikes on Russian forces in the Crimea and the Black Sea, which was seized and annexed by Moscow in 2014. Ukrainian attacks in and around Crimea will include strikes on a Russian airbase on the peninsula, Black Sea Fleet command post, and a bridge linking Crimea to Russia. Every October, hundreds of witches appear on bodies of water across the United States. They glide up on stand paddleboards, they get together to have a laugh, while more people start to show up. Some of the witches even paddle for charities, while some are just having fun.
The football team prepares for senior night, and 2 junior high students medal at the Mercer County Invitational. Sean Burchill is standing by in the Sports Center with more. Sean?
Thanks, guys. Sharon's stout defense is famous for pitching shutouts, having kept opponents off the board 4 times this season, leading up to Friday night. They added a 5th in their matchup against Greenville, winning 41-0. The Trojans got literally inches from scoring at the end of the first half, but were stopped on a 4th and goal at the 2. That drive was powered by some solid Nick Soldridge completions, a couple longer Malachi Hyde runs. The Trojans will return home next week for their final game of the season against Harbor Creek. The volleyball team ran out of steam, falling short of the reverse sweep, losing 3-2 to the Harbor Creek Huskies in the first round, District 10 playoffs on Tuesday at Meadville High School. The Trojans' nerves might have gotten the best of them as the Huskies stormed out to a 25-13 win. Greenville played a much more competitive second set, but still fell 25-20. Down 2 sets, Greenville turned its fortunes around, battling for the following sets, winning 26-24 and 25-23. Unfortunately for Greenville, the Trojans ran out of steam in the final set, falling 15-3. And finally, junior high students Aiden Bailey and Nolan Wigg both medaled at the Mercer County Invitational at Lakeview High School on Saturday, October 21st. Congratulations on a great season, Aiden, Nolan, and the rest of the hard-working cross-country team. That's the latest from the Sports Center. I'll send it back to the girls in the studio.
Thanks, Sean. That's all for this week's episode of Trojan News. Be sure to follow our YouTube channel for the latest in school news. For Trojan News, I'm Leah Betts.
And I'm Torrance Lanford. Happy Halloween.